Also, someone who wants to go to the Cowboys is Jamal Adams. And you, as a Jets fan, obviously this has to be hurting because Jamal Adams clearly is not very happy with the Jets at the moment. He wants out, and it seems like his primary destination is the Dallas Cowboys. Give me your thoughts. Like, what is going through your head with this Jamal Adams drama? Because he's clearly at his age, he's very young. Clearly one of the best, if not the best, safety, and he's also very versatile in the league.
I
What are your thoughts? Like,
I don't understand either side right now because the Jets have said, the GM of the Jets, Joe Douglas, has said multiple times that they want Jamal Adams to be the well, they want him to be a Jet for life. Literally, that's what they've called him. And yet they have not offered him a contract, according to Jamal Adams himself. But the way he's handled this situation is abysmal, in my opinion, because
I think he's blown it out of proportion. Because I do remember reading something saying that the Jets wanted to wait until 2020 to get this deal with Jamal Adams done. They were like, it's a 2020 matter. We'll worry about it in 2020. But he wanted it done in 2019, his extension. And I think the amounts he wants, or whatever it was, like very reasonable for the Jets to pay. Also, why would you not want Jamal Adams to lead your defense? I think the Jets have a pretty decent defense, and if I can't really find many better players at his age to lead a defense.
he doesn't even have to be the leader of the Jets defense. Last year, if you watched the Week 1 Jets game where Sam Darnold played with mono, they were winning 16-0 against the Bills going to the fourth quarter. They lose that game. That's where the Jets season goes downhill. The reason the Jets lose that game, their offense wasn't working the entire game. You can't even blame the offense for that loss. I mean, you can. You can actually blame it all on them. But the defense is what kept them and gave them that lead because of C.J. Mosley, the middle linebacker, who
Oh yeah,
in the
yes,
third
he's one of
quarter,
those leaders too.
yeah, he pulled his groin. He was the leader of that defense because as soon as he went out, Jamal Adams could not take control of that defense. He is not the player. He is a great player. He took on it. He had to learn, but he is not a player who he says should be the or what he wants is to be not the highest paid safety in the league, which would be around $20 million a year, but he wants to be the highest paid defensive player, which is, in my opinion, mind blowing. You want to be paid higher than a person who could change the game as much as like an Aaron Donald, who is currently the highest paid defensive player. It makes no sense to me, especially when he is stuck with the New York Jets for at least 2 years, and they could franchise tag him for a third. So what the heck is the point to demand a trade? I get being upset that you're not signed yet. I get voicing your opinion on social media to to show the fans that you want to be there. You want to be shown your respect that you said that the team is not showing you. The fans were on your side. Like through this whole thing, I being a Jets fan, I was on his side. I was like, "Come on, like let's get the deal done as soon as possible. Let's just guarantee that he's a Jet for the next 6 or 7 years." But but then he demands a trade. He goes on social media making fun of the Jet fans, going to Cowboys fans and saying like he wants to be in Dallas, get him to Dallas. It just doesn't make sense when you literally have no control over your career for the next 3 years, and all you're doing now is the team and you obviously are someone in some awkward tension for the next however long you're on the team. The fans don't like you. They don't want you there anymore. Like I don't understand what your thought process was going onto social media and making yourself look like a fool because he's a great player, but is he worth all the drama he's creating outside of the team?
No, the drama kills them. The drama kills his chances of getting that large contract he wants. And I think he's deserving of it. He's still really young. I think he's one of the best defensive players in the league, and I don't think many can disregard that. Like the one play that sticks out in mind is when they played the Giants, and he literally. Don't even think it counts as a sack. I don't know what it does, but he literally ran up to Daniel Jones, ripped the ball out of Daniel Jones's hands, and took it for a touchdown. Like I don't know if that's like a forced fumble recovery touchdown, a sack, forced fumble recovery touch. Like I don't even know what that is, what that was ruled as, or given stat wise to him. But that is he's worth the kind of money he wants, in my opinion. I think he's a very good playmaker. he has a leading role to step into, and the drama he's creating is not helping in any way, shape, or form. But I think for the Jets, he's worth the money to take to pay. But clearly, it doesn't seem like he wants to be on the Jets. So as a Jets fan, if they do decide to trade him to the Cowboys or whoever, because he's with them for the next 2 to 3 years, depending on if the Jets franchise tag him, what would you want in return for Jamal Adams? What do you take for him?
With him being on his rookie contract still, he said he'd play for the Cowboys on that rookie contract, which means the Cowboys would be getting a steal, honestly. So in order for them to give the correct compensation back, it needs to be at least one first round pick. It needs to be a playmaker of some sort. I've seen a lot of NFL trade analysts saying that Michael Gallup, the second receiver, especially since they just drafted CD Lamb, so they don't really need Michael Gallup. He's like the second or third option depending on who they go with. And I would probably even say another draft pick or another player who could have a potential to start. That's the only way you do that trade if you're the Jets, because right now you have one of the best players on his rookie deal, and he has no leverage over you, even though he says he does.
Yeah, he doesn't really have much. He's would have stuck with the Jets if he's not traded for the next 2 to 3 years. He's not moving anywhere unless it's a trade, and therefore the Jets really could get a ton, especially for the amount that any team would be getting him for, because he would play on his rookie contract and everything, which is really kind of just insane. I think Jamal Adams has put himself in a very hard situation. Um, I still think there's a chance he signs with the Jets. I think he's trying to voice his opinion to make sure the deal gets done faster, to put the Jets on edge, to try to like make them be like, oh, like it's either he gets traded or this deal gets done. So either way, I feel Jamal Adams feels like he's in a win-win situation, because I don't think the Jets really want to deal with him for the next 2 years if they decide not to trade him and then franchise tag him and then they get rid of him. I don't think that's worth it for the Jets when they can get someone like a Michael Gallup and a first-round pick. I don't think that's worth it. I feel like the Jets should really look at their options, because I feel like there's no need to keep him around if there's just going to be locker room drama. Like, that doesn't need to be there at all for the Jets, especially a team that's trying to rebuild, and a team, in my opinion, is on the up. I think Sam Darnold's going to have a good year. I think the Jets are going to have a very good year. But with this Jamal Adams drama, you don't want to keep this around. So for the Jets, I feel like it's like a kind of get the deal done or get him out. There's no in between.
I feel like he's gone.
You can't wait on this,
No.
because I feel Jamal Adams' whole thought process was, I feel like he's very invested into the Jets. I feel it was to get all this out to make a scene, so the Jets are like, all right, we need to get this done, whether that deal is ship or keep. It's one of those, and there's no in between. Like it's either you ship them or you keep them, and it has to be done soon. In my opinion, it's got to be done before this year starts. Like the preseason starts and before this year starts. The Jets need to know if Jamal Adams is going to stay there for the next 6 to 7 years, or if they are going to have picks or a pick receiver or pick playmaker or pick whatever. They need to know that now.
He's got to be gone, though. If you think about it, he has made his stance. He has not has he just, if he wanted a trade, requested a trade, didn't go on social media, that's fine. Teams would be fine. The fact that you went after Jets fans saying that they're he didn't say they're terrible, but the way he's going after them shows he no longer wants to be in New York. And you know what? He can just be doing that as a ploy just to try to, get the Jets to sign him now. You lost that connection with the fans that you had, for most fans at least. The Jets fans, they adopted the nickname Prez. There was Prez chants at the games. Like they took him. You do that to New York, you stab somebody like those fans in the back in New York, you're done. Like, you could sign back, people will appreciate you, but the status that you had, being one of the best players of a New York team, that's gone. Like, you could be a great player, but you will never ever be put on that same pedestal that you were on before.
Yeah, he's not in a great position. He's not in a great position with the league or the Jets fans itself. But I think personally he's in a good position, because A, he stays with the Jets and he gets the deal that he wants, or B, he gets out, and he still gets the deal that he wants. I feel like no matter what, he's still going to get the deal that he wants and get the money that he wants or feels like he deserves, no matter what. So I feel for Jamal Adams himself, personally, it's a win-win situation. And I feel like you can't really argue that. Now, for the league or whatever team he goes to, I feel it's a win-lose situation because win, you get Jamal Adams, one of the youngest, one of the best defenders in the league. Lose, you saw what he just did with the Jets. And if the Jets keep him, you saw what he just did or what he's been doing. How does this impact the locker room? How does this impact the way future situations might pan out if he doesn't get what he wants? Now, obviously, as I said before, this might just be a whole thing to get this deal done, whether it's keep or ship. But I feel for Jamal Adams personally, he's in a good spot. For everyone around Jamal Adams, I feel it's a bit of a worry. And I don't really know how that gets done or how a certain team is going to deal with that. But as I said, this deal needs to be done before the start of this next preseason. If you go into preseason and Jamal Adams is still on the Jets and he's still having his contract issues and he's still having his issues with Jets, and that's going to turn into locker room issues, which is going to turn into on-field issues, which the Jets do not need this year because I thought the Jets were really good at the end of last year. And now with a fully healthy Sam Darnold, they do not have much to worry about. They got Denzel Mims in the draft. They got Mekhi Becton in the draft. Their offensive line is looking a bit better with some of their signings. They have Le'Veon Bell. They had him for a full year. They're gonna have him. This is gonna be a second full year with the Jets. They have a couple good receivers. Their defense was good last year and should be good this year. You cannot have this Jamal Adams. You can't have these Jamal Adams issues.
No,
I just can't.
He has to be gone. The way he's handled the situation is so poor. And like you brought up, all the Jets, no matter how much they are made fun of, and I'm being a Jet fan, it's kind of funny seeing the NFL memes of Sam Darnold seeing ghosts and all that. But you can't deny that the team itself is on the up, and to have the situation be as bad as it is right now, where you have Jamal Adams liking tweets making fun of Sam Darnold and saying that Sam Darnold isn't a good quarterback. He's ruining that team, and you got to get him either out or happy, and it has to be one, like you said. And it's just such a bad situation for a team that has the potential to maybe grab that the new 7th spot in the playoffs. I know people are going to clown the Jets and stuff, but that defense they finished off that season so strong. The team is as a whole finishing off 6-2, and being 1-7 and finishing the season 7-9 somehow. It doesn't make sense to ruin what you have from one diva in the locker room. And I know people don't like that term, but you can't deny that what he's doing is diva-like, at least.
No, it definitely is, but I feel like that, again, that's the whole ploy of I want it done now, and it's going to get done now, which is him putting himself in the position he's in, because he's like, I'm getting paid no matter what, whether it's with the Jets or whether it's with the Cowboys or whether it's with another team. He knows he's going to get paid. And at the end of the day, that's probably all he really wants. There's going to be people that obviously disagree, and I feel majority of people are going to disagree with the way he's going about it. But however you want to look at it, he's getting paid and he's getting the money that he wants. So he put himself in a good position for himself financially, whatever his reasons may be. With the Jets fans, he's in a really terrible position. And I feel whatever team decides to take him, there are some doubts about the way he's going to handle some situations in the future. Not saying he's ever going to do it again, but there's some doubts. You can't not have those doubts. I feel and I hope that the Jets get a deal done soon. Again, whether it's keep or ship him, it's got to get done. But look, there's no way to tell until something gets done. So as that continues, we will keep reporting on it, keep giving our inputs, our information, whatever we find, we'll keep going on with that.